Adventures of Rocky and Bullwinkle and Friends. Starring that jet-age aerial ace, Rocket J. Squirrel. And his pal, Bullwinkle the Moose.
Hi, glad to see you again.
Likewise.
We got some great things on the show today.
Like what? Like what?
Well, you ought to know, Bullwinkle. You're in some of them.
Well, let's get started.
In the last episode, Bullwinkle and Boris were trying to pull the plug out of the bottom of Lake Saldebain. The reason is that at the bottom of the lake, in this waterproof casing, lies the treasure of Monte.
Yes, and I'm going to get it back, or my name isn't, what's his name? Spencer Traceback.
Of course, Bullwinkle thought he was helping Spencer Traceback, the actor, drag in a big fish.
Just like in the movies. Boy, he must be a whopper.
No, he's a bluefin toonie.
That anything like a piano toonie?
But before Boris could answer with still another tired joke, the plug pulled loose and the water began to rush out of the lake.
Uh-oh, I think we lost him. And small wonder you're not using a hook.
It must have fallen off. Well, I guess it's back to the salt mines. If someone would only dive down and find the hook.
See, why don't I do it, Mr. Traceback?
Oh, I couldn't think of asking you to do a thing like that.
Then why are you pushing me?
But if you insist...
And Bullwinkle suddenly found himself in the water.
Boris, if he dives down, he will find treasure.
He'll also find the hole that's draining the lake.
Sure enough, far beneath the water, Bullwinkle was struggling against the pull of the water, running out of the hole at the bottom of the lake. Fortunately, his plight had not gone unseen.
Hold on, Bullwinkle, I'm coming.
And Rocky, that plucky squirrel, launched himself into a fancy swan dive. But as luck would have it, at that moment, the last of the water drained out of the lake. So there was Rocky, out like a light. Boris and Natasha free to get the treasure, and Bullwinkle Moose... Well, good heavens, where is he?
Right down there, Poopsie.
Yes, our hero had disappeared down the drain.
Right.
But, gee, that means that there are no good guys left.
Funny how that works out. Come on, Natasha.
And with no one to stop them, the two villains went directly to the huge waterproof casing that shielded the treasure of Monte. Fortunately, the waterproof casing turned out to be villain-proof, too.
Hold it, Natasha. I'm bushed. If I got to work this hard to get rich, I might as well get a job.
Oh, Boris, what you said.
Meanwhile, Rocky had come to his senses and was standing beside the hole where Bullwinkle had been pulled from sight.
There's only one thing to do. I gotta fly down there after him.
And adjusting his goggles, the plucky squirrel zoomed down into the hole.
Oh, such loyalty, Boris. It kind of gets you right here.
Yes, Natasha, and I'm going to do something about it, too.
What?
I'm going to plug up the hole.
And the wily Boris slammed the plug back into place and stamped it down tight, trapping our heroes far underground where they were zooming through the water supply system of Frostbite Falls. Our scene now changes rather abruptly to the interior of an apartment house in the suburbs of Frostbite Falls, where nearly was a lady last night she died, told the bell for... Oh, rats, what happened to the hot water? Hey, Super, let's have some hot water up here!
You got all there is. Turn the tap on all the way.
Oh, very well. Nellie was a lady, last night she died.
Toll the bell for lovely Nell, my sweet Virginie bride.
Oh, for cry-eye, it's a monster!
No, I'm more of the second tenor.
How'd you get in there?
Never mind that. The real question is, how am I going to get out?
Yes, Bullwinkle was jammed into a bend in the water pipe, and what's more, it was a hot water pipe.
Yeah, I'm getting the world's first instant hot foot.
Instant hot foot?
Take 1 foot and add boiling water.
Don't miss our next episode, Bullwinkle Cleans Up, or The Desperate Showers.
That you down there, Junior?
Sure is, Pop. I'm digging for gold.
In your mother's gardenia patch?
Well, according to my treasure chart, there's gold down here.
Let me see that. My Favorite Gold Mines by Marilyn Monroe. Where'd you get this?
I bought it off a rag peddler.
For how much?
6 cents.
That, my boy, is a classic example of a fool and his money are soon parted.
It wasn't my 6 cents, Pop. I took it off your dresser.
Yeah, that's beside the point. You were still swindled. Now stop digging and listen to this fable. I call it The Fox and the Rabbit. Years ago, when vaudeville was in its heyday, a certain fox named Foxini the Great toured the hinterlands as a magician.
For my next trick, I shall need a volunteer. How do you do, sir? May I borrow your pocket watch? Thank you. Now, I drop the watch, made in Switzerland, into this hat. Stir it with an egg beater. Tap it gently with a sledgehammer. And then pour a vial of acid over it. I then cover the hat with a Hindu cloth and say the magic words, Helen 12 Trees and Ricardo Cortez, and presto! Go ahead, sir. Reach in and get your watch. You, sir, need a new crystal?
Say, I got an item for you, Foxini boy. That was the last act you will ever do in this theater.
Oh, please, sir. One more essay. I supplicate you.
Oh, I shouldn't, but, well, all right, one last essay. You close tonight's show, right after the train seals.
You won't be lamentated, sir. I promise.
Oh, and look, Foxini doll, no more of the mystic stuff, huh? It's a family show, you know. Just pull a rabbit out of the hat, will you?
But rabbits in those days were hard to find, mainly due to the carrot drought that hit the hinterlands that summer. But in his meanderings, the fox sauntered down a back alley, and there, eating a picture of a carrot, was a rabbit.
Good morrow to you, friend rabbit.
Hi. Got a picture of some salt on you?
No, but I can give you a job.
Like doing what?
Getting in and out of a hat.
Well, sounds easy enough. I'll try it.
That evening, the great Foxini climaxed his turn with a new innovation.
Yes, folks, this hat does seem to be empty. Aha! But I say the magic words, Roger Pryor and Eileen Pringle, and presto.
The crowd gasped, for out of the hat came a rabbit eating a picture of a turkey.
There, you hear that, Foxini, baby? I'm picking up your option right away. They loved it. You're made.
For 2 weeks, Foxini stopped the show, and then it happened.
And presto, out of the hat comes...
Nothing. The rabbit did not appear. The curtain came down. On the fox, unfortunately. Later in his quarters...
But why did you let me down?
I'm bored, that's why. You get all the applause while I have to sit all cramped up in that little hat.
Tell me what you want. I'll give you anything.
Put a false bottom on the hat. That way I can meander around until it's time to do the magic bit.
Foxini had no alternative. He acquiesced, but what he didn't know was that while he was on the stage doing his routine, the rabbit was circulating through the audience, picking pockets of all things. You can imagine the fox's dismay when he pulled the rabbit out of the hat and the rabbit had 24 billfolds in his hot little paws.
What did you do? Hit the jackpot.
Down came the curtain again on the fox.
I can't understand it, Foxini doll. You were coming on like gangbusters. Then all of a sudden, somebody pulled the plug. And that's not all. Some of the customers lost their wallets.
Fancy that.
You haven't seen any wallets, have you, doll?
Me? Look, Rabbit, you want to get us in trouble? You can't steal wallets.
But the mind of a distorted rabbit is a cunning mind. This time, when he was plucked from the hat, he came up with an armful of currency stolen from a nearby bank. That wasn't bad enough. Also out of the hat came the squad of police.
You're under arrest, Foxini.
But, Ossifer, I had nothing to do with this. It was all the rabbit's fault.
What, rabbit?
Sure enough, the wayward hare had chosen that moment to jump back into the hat and escape through the false bottom.
But I'm innocent, I tell you.
Not only did the fox receive a stiff sentence, but so did the theater manager for contributing to the delinquency of a magician.
You know, doll, I just can't believe this is happening.
Shut up and break rocks.
But we all know that crime doesn't pay. The little rabbit found refuge somewhere in South America, but never got to enjoy the fruits of his ill-gotten gains, for true to his habits, he had eaten a picture of a hard-boiled egg, not realizing that on the other side was a picture of a rotten apple. He took ill and never recovered. And so you see, Junior, a fool and his money are soon parted.
I got a better.
Oh, dear, hold it. You were about to say you had a better moral. Well, this time I'm going to beat you to it. You were going to say a fool and his bunny are soon parted, right?
Wrong. I was going to say, hair today, gone tomorrow.
Hair to dig, Junior.
It's time for that man of 1,000 helpful suggestions, Mr. Know-It-All.
Thank you, and hello, man of 1,000 helpful suggestions lovers everywhere. Today we are taking up the problem of how to disarm a live 5,000 megaton TNT bomb in your own workshop in your spare time to amuse your friends. Or just yourself, even. First and surest fire is the hairpin technique, which requires 1, a common hairpin, and 2, a common bomb. This method, when employed by an expert professional bomb disarmer, is 100% safe. 99% anyway. For the beginner, it is often more satisfying to work with a smaller bomb, or a teeny, as the professionals call it. Next, it is important to be able to detect the bomb before disarming it. One would think it would be this object because of the ticking sound, but obviously that's just to throw one off. Likewise with these two objects. But here, cleverly disguised as a bomb, is a bomb. And thus, another nasty scene has been averted by...
Gosh, Mr. Know-It-All, what happened? I was about to tell you your time is almost up.
Throw it away! Get rid of it! Run for your life! Lucky I got my own watch. Taking no chances. Now, where's that match? Oh, yes.
Don't play with the television set, Sherman. It's bust.
No, it isn't, Mr. Peabody. A spy fixed it this morning.
A spy?
Well, he snuck in the back door and he was all dressed in black.
Well, that doesn't mean he's a spy.
Well, he gave us Secret Service, didn't he?
Oh, dear. I had no alternative but to make Sherman stand in a corner, the one occupied by the Wayback Machine.
Where to, Mr. Peabody?
Well, as long as we're on the subject of spies, let us meet the queen of them all, the legendary Monte. Sherman sent the Wayback Machine for Newcastle, England, in the early days of the First World War. We arrived just as one of the largest ships of its day was about to be launched.
Which one of the people on the launching platform is Mata Hari, Mr. Peabody?
From here, it's hard to tell. She undoubtedly is wearing a clever disguise. It was then I spotted a waiter going up the steps, carrying a bottle of champagne with which the ship was to be christened. That, Sherman, is Mata Hari.
How can you tell?
When a waiter wears high heels, something is afoot.
In the name of His Majesty, I hereby christen this ship.
Don't swing that bottle, Admiral!
Why not?
She blew it up.
We reported the incident to the Counterintelligence Department of Scotland Yard.
Well, if Mata Hari is in England, it means the war effort is in serious jeopardy. Wonder what she'll do next.
Probably steal some secret plans.
I doubt that. We have a steel-proof steel safe here, but we shall check anyway. Oh, dear, what did I do with the combination?
The combination is 6 left, 32 right, back to 8, around once to 0, and right to 3.
Gad, sir, how do you know the combination?
I don't really. It happens to be the phone number of my aunt in Peoria. The heavy door swung open, revealing an empty safe.
Good, she didn't take a thing.
What do you mean, Inspector?
Well, the safe is just a blind. I keep the secret plans in my pants pocket.
We suddenly realized his pockets were gone, along with his pants.
That means Mata Hari got away with the plans.
Yes, and without them, England is lost.
In a desperate attempt to overtake her before she could leave the country, we dashed for the nearest optometrist.
Optometrist? What makes you think she'll be there?
Quite obvious, Sherman. All spies need spy glasses. Suddenly before us loomed a shop owned by a Dr. Focals. Rushing inside, we spotted Mata Hari standing by Focals.
No use making a spectacle of yourself, Mata Hari. We've got the drop on you.
Actually, she had the drop on us, for a trapdoor sprang open and Mata Hari disappeared.
Quick! She'll head for the airport now.
We arrived just as Mata Hari took off in an old de Havilland. We were quick to follow in a new de Havilland.
I didn't know you could fly, Mr. Peabody?
I have a little bird dog in me, Sherman. By the time we were halfway across the channel, we were practically on Mata Hari's tail.
Open fire, Inspector.
Right, sir.
Unfortunately, the inspector misinterpreted Sherman's command. To him, open fire meant to open the cockpit and build a fire. We went down in flames, which was the name of a small French town right near the German lines. We disembarked from our burning plane and took stock of our situation. This, Sherman, is what is known as no man's land. Years ago, it was a lush forest.
But the trees are gone.
That's right, Sherman. This is the Argonne Forest.
You should have saved that one for the ending, Mr. Peabody.
Oh, I have one that's worse than that, Sherman. Right now, our problem is to outwit Mata Hari before she can deliver the secret plans to the enemy.
We shall never catch her now.
We shall not only catch her, we shall pass her. Unmindful of the shrapnel, we ran between the falling bombs and reached the enemy trench a good 45 3/10 seconds ahead of Mata.
Oh, we're in trouble, Mr. Peabody. Look at all the bayonets.
And that gave me an idea. I picked up a string of hot dogs lying in a nearby shell hole and instructed Sherman and the inspector to follow my example. We placed a hot dog at the end of each bayonet. Naturally, the soldiers assumed they were at a weenie bake, and being German, rushed off to get some sauerkraut.
Now what, Mr. Peabody?
Quick, into these uniforms! When Mata Hari got there, she took us for German officers and promptly handed over the secret plans. I, in turn, promptly handed the plans and Miss Hari over to the inspector.
We did it, Mr. Peabody.
Yes, don't we always?
By the way, Mr. Peabody, what was in the secret plans?
Here they are, Sherman. Take a look for yourself.
Oh, my gosh, it's just a picture of a giant blimp.
That giant blimp, Sherman, was to be England's last resort. In the event they were losing the war, the entire British population was to climb into that blimp and fly to safety.
I never heard of that before.
Well, of course you have. Where do you think we got the phrase, one nation indirigible?
Oh, no.
I warned you, Sherman.
Last time, you remember, Rocky was chasing Bullwinkle through the water system of Frostbite Falls. Little did he know that high above him, the moose was stuck in an irate citizen's shower nozzle. Fortunately, the irate citizen spun the tap wide open, shooting Bullwinkle out of the pipes entirely.
Thanks a mill, friend.
But you're over 6 feet tall. How could you get through a little skinny water pipe?
I held my breath.
Superintendent, help!
Well, if you're gonna act like that, goodbye.
Now, what's the matter? What's the matter? You got enough hot water, haven't you?
I just found a moose in my shower.
A mouse in your shower?
Not a mouse, a moose!
Maybe you ought to switch to cold showers for a while. I never heard of anything so...
Hey, either of you ladies seen a moose go by here?
Ladies!
That way.
Thanks.
Do you realize that a squirrel just came out of the shower, called us ladies, and acted as if a moose went by?
And there's a good reason for it.
What?
His goggles were all steamed up.
Oh.
It was true. With his goggles all foggy, Rocky walked right past Bullwinkle without even seeing him.
Hey, Rocky!
Bullwinkle, is that you?
It was when I got up this morning.
I must be getting nearsighted. You sure look fuzzy.
Well, let's face it, Rock. I am fuzzy.
Meanwhile, at the dry lake bottom, Boris and Natasha were still trying to break into the enormous treasure chest.
Oh, it's no use, Boris. We can't do it.
Well, I guess we'll have to use a Pennsylvanian persuader.
A Pennsylvania persuader, what's that?
2 pounds TNT in a 1 pound bag with instructions.
Oh.
Let's see. Instructions say, place bag next to object to be persuaded.
Check.
Light fuse.
Check.
Then it says, caution, this persuader has...
Has what?
Just a minute. It's in small print. Oh, caution, this persuader has... a quick-burning fuse.
But though the explosive did a good job on Boris and Natasha, it didn't faze the treasure of Montezuma.
Perhaps we should ask ourselves, Natasha, is it worth all the effort? Is a cheesy $1 million treasure worth getting blown up for? Is $1 million really that important? Is money everything?
I give up, darling. Is it?
You bet it is. Get back to work.
But unbeknownst to the two eager villains, our heroes were dashing to the scene of the crime.
Why are we dashing thusly?
Because the criminal always always returns to the scene of the crime.
I don't want to destroy your childlike faith, Rock, but we're not the criminals.
No, but when the real criminals do return to the scene of the crime, we'll catch them red-handed. Do you follow me?
I have to. We're on the same bicycle.
Meanwhile, the wily Boris had rigged up a primitive block and tackle and dragged the enormous treasure chest to a high bluff overlooking the dry lake.
Now, as soon as we cut the cable, chest drops down onto those rocks, splits wide open.
And?
Happy days are here again. Hey!
Well, as luck would have it, our heroes chose that moment to pedal their bicycle across the bottom of the dry lake and right under the enormous chest.
Natasha, do my eyes deceive me?
They wouldn't dare.
It's fantastical. We get to open up treasure chest and shut up moose and squirrel at the same time.
Oh, you're such a lucky schnook.
Well, you know what I always say. Somebody down there likes me.
And Boris prepared to snip the cable and send the treasure chest hurtling down on our heroes. Don't miss our next rather unpleasant episode, Boris Bashes a Box or the Flat Chest.
Well, I guess that about wraps up another Rocky show.
Certainly hope you enjoyed it. I did. I always say.
Bullwinkle, time for us to go.
Already? Okay, but first, here are some of the people who made this show impossible.
That's not all.
The fingers get tired. Oop! Got away from me again.
Well, see you next time. Ready, Bullwinkle?